All right, we will now call to order the city council meeting this Tuesday, October 1st, 2024, 6:32 in the council chambers. Mayor Terry Darcy presiding. Jeff DeVries, founder, Pray Joliet, will lead us in giving the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for these group of people that serve our city. Lord, I pray that they would have wisdom and understanding in all that they preside over. Lord, I pray for the areas of concern in the community, the economic development, the finances, the communication and the technology, the legislative, the public safety, and the public services, Lord. Lord, I pray that you give them strength and wherewithal to forge this city's future. And I pray for the projects that they undertake and the stresses that they go through every day to lead our city. Bless them, give this meeting efficiency, and help us to all honor you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance now. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy?
Here.
Councilman Cardenas?
Here.
Councilman Clement?
Here.
Councilman Guerrero?
Here.
Councilman Hug?
Here.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Here.
Councilman Mudrin?
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Here.
Under Mayor is a proclamation declaring September 17th through September 23rd, 2024 as Constitution Week. Daughters of the American Revolution. A proclamation. Whereas the Constitution of the United States of America, the guardian of our liberties, embodies the principles of limited government in a republic dedicated to rule by law. And whereas September 17, 2024 marks the 237th anniversary of the framing of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate it. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designating September 17th through the 23rd Constitution Week. Now, therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of the City of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through September 23rd as Constitution Week in Joliet, and ask our citizens to reaffirm the ideas of the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through this guardian of our liberties. Dated October 1st, 2024, signed by Terry Darcy, Mayor of Joliet. Thank you.
To Mayor Darcy and the members of the board of the Joliet City Council, we thank you for allowing us to come before you tonight to receive your proclamation to promote the Constitution Week from September 17th through the 25th in your city of Joliet. I'm Pat Decker. I'm a member of the Louis Joliet chapter of the DAR Joliet chapter, and this is Bobby Today, the regent of our chapter. The purpose of and the mission of the Daughters of the American Revolution is to perpetuate the memory and spirit of the men and women who achieved American independence in 1776. To that end, we promote the education of the Constitution in our schools, libraries, and city halls. As Abraham Lincoln said at the end of the Civil War, our safety, our liberty, depends on preserving the Constitution of the United States, as our fathers made it inviolate. The people of the United States are rightful masters of both. Congress, and the courts, not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow men who pervert the Constitution. Again, thank you for having us here tonight.
Thank you.
Yep. I'll push it back to you. Yeah, I know.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay. Next is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. So we have some people signed up. Jim Rolfe?
Good evening. Jim Rolfe, 4707 Ashford Lane, Joliet, and a employee of Old National Bank, and I work in downtown every day. So lots of things are going on in downtown. Some of them have created a little bit of chaos, if you will. But at the end, there is light. Because you took the chance to do all the things that need to be done for the future of this city. And that construction that's going on, while inconvenient currently, is just that. I've seen a lot of people critical of what's going on. And I always challenge them as I challenge myself. I challenge everyone to make our community a better place, like I challenge myself to do that same thing. So it's easy to be critical of the things that are going on, but the infrastructure that you all have approved and is going forward is absolutely essential for our future. So thank you for doing that. And thank you for raising some other things. We have a levy that you're going to be talking about tonight. Probably something that's been talked about for a number of years, but these large projects take a lot of time for people to embrace and make happen. And so you have an opportunity to do something in addition to the things you've already committed to do by building the levee. So the design work that you're going to be looking at and the contract that you would have with the Army Corps of Engineers and the like, I read it today. I fell asleep a couple times, but I did read it, and it is something that is in the best interest of our community. As a banker, I can tell you that businesses that operate in downtown, if they have a loan on their building, their property, they are required by law when they finance that building or refinance it if it's an older loan, to buy flood insurance because of the floodplain areas that exist in downtown. Now, the whole downtown isn't in a floodplain, but there are pockets. And this levy will be huge in eliminating that issue and thus eliminating and reducing the cost and expense to small business. We all know small businesses are so important to our community. And this is one more step to put a big check mark in the plus column to help them. So I encourage you to do that. The other thing that I'd like to speak on is the tram that's going to be considered. As I said, I'm in downtown every day. If it's out there, I might ride it. But I think it's one of those things that is another additive element, if you will, to what we have in downtown Joliet. We got the historic designation. We need to continue to fuel that. This will help by helping people move during the special events. As a member of the board of the City Center Partnership, we host and sponsor a lot of events where lots of people come. A holiday parade will be coming up. The Halloween activities are coming up. Lots and lots of people will be here. And to have a tram that can help, particularly those that might be a little mobility challenged, could be a great thing. And I would encourage you to look at it as adding something, not looking at it like, I read some news clips, saw the quotes, and a lot of people were critical of the idea. I would say the same thing that I said earlier. Is that my 4 minutes?
Sorry.
That's okay. I challenge them as I challenge myself to make the community a better place. And they need to be thoughtful about what that means. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike McCushka?
Actually, my comments are better with the public comment section, so I'll wait till the end. Thank you.
Okay. Hugh O'Hara?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Hugh O'Hara. I'm here tonight in a couple different capacities. First off, on behalf of the Joliet Area Historical Museum, we want to voice our support for the city's grant-funded purchase of an electric tram. I know that we sent a letter to that stating that, but wanted to come tonight just to double down and say that we do believe that this is a good purchase for the city. The museum, as many of you know, because you've been to many of our properties, we operate multiple properties across downtown and just over the river with the Planasec Market. And one of the things that we hear often is it would be great if there was a day once a month or twice a month where you could come in and just have a one-stop parking experience to go to all of those facilities. I know that our staff has been in discussions with the staff here at the city about ways that we could partner to do that. We think that this would be a great asset to the community and something that would allow us to even do some additional things. In the past, we've offered sort of one-off, whether it was tours of the historic limestone buildings in Joliet, some of the historic homes in the Upper Bluff Historic District. We did one through churches around the area. All of those become cost prohibitive if you have to go out and rent a van for 10 or 15 people to do it. It becomes very difficult. So having the ability to partner with the city and take advantage of that electric tram would be great. We also think it would be helpful, not just for our museum, but for the Rock and Roll Museum, for the Rialto, for all the public assets that are in downtown Joliet. Additionally, I'm on the board at the Heritage Corridors Destinations Visitors Bureau, which also sent a letter in. I know their big thing is the IHSA baseball event that happens here downtown. You know, a lot of parents go to those and they don't know where to go, whether it's for dinner or in between games. They might have a certain amount of time that they can get out and do different things, but they don't want to move their car because they're not familiar with the area. They don't know where to go. How many times has this council had discussions about parking and where to park? If they can just leave their car, use the tram, get around to whether it goes to Chicago Street or Collins Street, but supporting our locally owned restaurants, I think, is hugely important and something that everyone would benefit from. Finally, on the levee project along the river, that's a project both the Will County Governmental League and Communities for Responsible and Efficient Waterways, both organizations of which the city of Joliet is a member. We've long advocated to see that project through for a variety of reasons. Kind of the ball got dropped somewhere there and it hasn't gotten done in a timely fashion. But I can tell you that that's something that we talk about regularly with our federal partners. We talk with the folks at the Army Corps about the importance of having that done. And to Jim Rolfe's point, to getting those business owners out of having to purchase additional flood insurance. We want more businesses in downtown. We want people to come. We want things to thrive. And having that issue taken care of will be a huge step in that direction. So thank you for the time on those issues tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak on agenda items? Okay. Seeing none, we will go to council committee reports. Land use and economic development.
Land Use and Economic Development Committee met here Wednesday, September 25th at 9 a.m. in the council chambers. In attendance was myself and Councilman Mudron. We reviewed one agenda item for the honorary street name request for 4th Avenue between Union Street and Mississippi Avenue to Louise F. Nichols Drive. The applicant Cynthia Harris gave us a brief overview of Louise F. Nichols. She submitted signatures from the neighbors were submitted in support, including a letter from the Superintendent of District 86, Dr. Teresa Rouse. A motion was made by Councilman Pat Mudron, seconded by myself, to recommend this to come to full council for a vote with our support. Councilman Mudron, would you like to add anything?
Outstanding, Caesar.
I'll leave the gavel, no? That's my report, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to legislative.
Hi, Legislative Committee met here on September 26th in the council chambers. Present was Councilman Clement, Guerrero, and myself. On the agenda, we had an ordinance establishing elected officials' compensation. Before I go any further, I want everyone to know that everyone sitting on the city council does not benefit from this unless they run and get reelected. And it'll be a staggered thing, as I'll say further down in my report. The last time elected officials' compensation was increased was in 2001, which was 23 years ago, and in 2011 it was reduced. This ordinance increases newly elected council members from 19,000 to 23,000, and the mayor from 33,000 to 40,250. The ordinance also includes a 2% annual increase starting in January 28. No one voting on this ordinance financially benefits, again, unless he or she is reelected. I can't say that enough, because a lot of people have been saying, you know, they're giving themselves raises. Well, no, we're not. It doesn't appoint to us, it appoints to the people in the future. The proposed raises are staggered to match the terms of office, so if approved, the first raise would begin on May 5th of 2025, and the remaining raises would be in effect in May of 2027. It was unanimous vote with the committee as we vetted it out. Many questions were asked, and we voted to go to the city council tonight for full approval. And that's all I have on that. So I know there were other questions, so Mr. Singh, the finance director, would be happy to answer questions or explain anything else further.
Yeah, I did get the one question last night about inflation. So the current amount of 19,000 adjusted for the annual inflation actually would represent a current value of $25,308.84. If I go back to the 2001 amount and adjust that for annual inflation, that amount would be $32,622.15. So inflation averaged since 2011 2.23%, and going back to 2001 2.18%.
Joe, Cesar, any other things you want to add?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, that concludes our report, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, public safety.
Thank you. Yep, Public Safety met today at 5:30 here in the council chambers. It was myself, Councilwoman Quillman, and Councilwoman Ibarra. We had the approval of the minutes for September 3rd. There were no citizens to be heard on agenda items. On the agenda was to approve the expansion for the web-based fire inspection program and payment to Locality Media, Inc., AKA First Due, in the amount of $71,337.50, and that is on our agenda under 462. In 2023, the fire department research several all-inclusive web-based incident management and reporting programs. They purchased the first phase in June of last year, including inspections and building pre-plans. This contract is now for the entire platform. It will give them the access to critical information during an incident and the ability to track call types and locations. So that passed unanimously to bring it, obviously, tonight at the for the full council. Secondly, there was a request with the police department for an authorization to upgrade the Faro scanner for the Joliet Police Department for $43,990. This was the background, basically the police department has been using this Faro scanner since 2017. The original price was $55,000. This new upgrade obviously was $43,990. What this does is it basically scans major crashes involving significant injuries or death. What we asked Deputy Chief Chris Botsam to do is to bring the example here, show us what this actually does. If there's a crime scene, this device maps out the entire room and intersection and incident, and it will speed up the investigation process. So, and if we do this by, I believe, the end of the month, there's a deadline, we will save $11,000. So we're hoping to do that. That passed to move to a future council date. Thirdly, request for approval to purchase a Lenco Bearcat G3 for $403,867,000. Right off the bat, it's a big ticket item, but this comes from the DUI funds from the 911 center. So what this is basically an armored vehicle. Right now, the city of Joliet does not own one, ILEAS does, but we have it here on our premise. So ILEAS, this thing is used all over the region, and it's over 20 years old. The city of Joliet Police Department would like to have their own. It's basically like an armored vehicle. So again, like we did with the Faro scanner, we asked Deputy Chief Botsam if he could bring photographs and things so the public and the council can understand what this vehicle actually does and what we use it for, along with previously the scanner. So that was approved unanimously to bring it to a later date at the full council. Lastly, there was a resolution requesting authorization to enter into a regular 2024 Justice Assistance Grant Intergovernmental Agreement between the City of Joliet and Will County. This is an annual grant that we share with the Will County Sheriff's Department, FBI stats. Basically, the City of Joliet would split the $75,851, and this is for a cellular app that are people can utilize, and also those stop strips. When you see a high-speed chase, this will be strips that you can throw out into the road and stop the threat of these high-speed chases. So if there's no comments from my colleagues,
No?
so basically that was, there were no public comments, and then we adjourned. So those are my comments in the meeting, Mayor.
Thank you, Joe.
And public service.
Public service met here at City Hall in the council chambers yesterday at 4:30 in the afternoon. In attendance and on the committee was Councilwoman Reardon, Councilman Mudrin, and myself. Also in attendance was Director of Public Works, Greg Ruddy, and Director of Public Utilities, Allison Swisher, and members of their staff. Short agenda, 2 contracts that we looked at. One was a yearly purchase for what you might want to call attic stock or back stock for street lighting and stoplights. Electrical purchase for $55,437.50 from Helsel and Jefferson Electrical Supply Company. The other one was award of professional services, or professional engineering services contract for the Phase 3 engineering service for the Theodore Street, which is from Droughton Road to Westmere Parkway, as far as widening and putting in stoplights. That was an engineering agreement that would cost $352,814. We had one change order, and that was number 1 for the underground storage tank removal from the east side facility as well as the west side facility, putting in a new one. Of course, this was an increase because there are contamination, which was already considered in the bid, but you don't know how much of the soil is contaminated until you actually start opening it. And of course, the EPA, once you start digging, and the EPA requires you to clean it up. So the addition was for $352,814. Oh, I'm sorry, $385,466. Under change orders and resolutions, we had 3 that were related. Most of the time, the ordinances and resolutions on the public service side are housekeeping, because once you say you want to pay with the MFT funds for the Droughton, the Theodore Street from Droughton and Westmere, you then have to formally, according to the state, approve that payment. So 3 of those items were related to that project. Another one was a resolution authorizing a design agreement between the Department of the Army Corps of Engineers and the City of Joliet for the design of the levee that was mentioned already today, the downtown levee. The total amount on that would be $1.2 million, of which the city would be required to pay $430,500, and the Army Corps would pay $800,500. So the city contribution is much less than what the Army Corps of Engineers pays. Other than that, all of those items that I've already mentioned were discussed and vetted and unanimously approved to be sent forward to this full council with committee recommendation that we approve it here. The last item was an ordinance amending the 2024 annual budget for the city of Joliet for the purchase of this much talked about electric tram from Moto Electric for $95,000. That was discussed, and the vote was 2-1 in favor of sending it to the council with recommendation to approve. I think I covered everything. If I'm wrong, let me know.
Good.
Pat?
You're good.
Nothing? All right, Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of minutes. It is recommended the minutes of the pre-council meeting held on September 16th, 2024, and the council meeting held on September 17th, 2024, stand approved as recorded. Invoices to be paid. It is recommended this report be approved. Council memo number 459-24, award of professional engineering services contract for construction Phase 3 engineering services for the Theodore Street, Droughton Road, Westmere Parkway, roadway widening improvements project to V3 Companies LTD in the amount of $352,814. Council memo number 460-24, 2024 electrical materials purchase order number 1 from Helsel and Jefferson Electrical Company in the amount of $55,437.50. Council memo number 461-24, change order number 1 for the 2023 underground storage tank removal and replacement project to Petroleum Technologies Equipment Incorporated in the amount of $385,466.65. Council memo number 462-24, approve the expansion for the web-based fire inspection program and payment to Locality Media Incorporated, also known as First Due, in the amount of $71,337.50. It is recommended council memos 459-24 through 462-24 be approved. Is there a motion to approve all said consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Can I abstain off the approval of the minutes as I wasn't in attendance for both of those meetings, but then I approve on the rest of it.
Okay. Mayor Darcy? Motion carried. Under licenses and permit applications, council memo number 464-24, transfer of a Class C liquor license at 1005 Essington Road, Liquor Town. Is there a motion to approve a transfer of a Class C liquor license to Liquor Town located at 1005 Essington Road?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
I don't know why that name makes me chuckle. Liquor Town. Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances, Council Memo Number 466-24. Ordinance amending the 2024 annual budget for the City of Joliet and purchase and upfit of one new electric tram from Moto Electric in an amount not to exceed $95,000.
So moved.
Second.
Mayor? comments? I just wanted to kind of clarify one thing. I've been listening for the most part. People are talking about the impact it would have on the IHSA tournament, the impact it would have on the parades, the impact it would have on these large events. These are events that attract 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 people. This is one bus that seats 50 people. So, I mean, if we were to take what my concern would be too, if this is approved tonight, we'll see, what about the other, like at the IHSA, the other 2,950 people who are waiting for a tram because it can only put 50 people in? So I want to be clear for those watching that this doesn't really address the large events downtown because they are so large. What is the Rialto? Right around 2,000 seating when it sells out. Again, these are a lot of people. This is one bus, 50 people. So I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
Greg, I think you were the one that you thank for giving us all the details on what the base price was and everything that was added to this. Maybe I missed it. Does it say in here where this vehicle was built or is being built?
Excuse me, the company is out of Florida. It'll be constructed in Florida, and then as you can see on the charges, there is a delivery charge to bring it here from Florida, but it is constructed in Florida.
Thank you.
Question, Mayor.
Sure.
Councilman, did you say 50 passengers?
50 passengers.
15.
Okay, this says standard 15, so it only holds 15 people, not 50.
That is correct. Yeah, it is 15. Councilman Hug, I think you asked me, and maybe
Whoa.
we had a
Yeah, when I
miscommunication
talked to you.
there.
So it's even
Yeah.
less, okay.
Yeah.
I just asked him, I wasn't sure. Asked Greg. You said 15 instead of 50?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, so it's even small. That's even less of an impact on the large events. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Well, sorry, I was just reading the
No, that's
stats
great.
that was
I'm glad
given
you
to me.
clarified it.
Mayor?
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, Larry, but as you know, the bus would be making a continuous loop. Some people, if we use the Rialto, will be parking across the street in the deck. I think what the idea is, if you're looking for off-site parking, this could be something that would be continuously running. Some people hopefully will be able to walk from wherever they're at, but other people who have some challenges would be able to use the van. I'm all for the van.
I want to make a couple comments on this. First of all, there was some misinformation that was put out by one of our papers. It was completely half the story. There is a grant involved in this that's going to pay for it. This paper had a tram from Barcelona, Spain in the picture. I'd like to get our story straight when we put stories out, please. This is not the first time the city's had a shuttle. In fact, in 2008, a 20-passenger shuttle was purchased unanimously by this city council for $51,000. And that was to replace a trolley that was 20 years old. So when the city staff has been meeting with some of the downtown businesses and asked what they needed, they said help navigating residents and visitors in the construction zone, which this will help. And we've been working hard to try and do anything we can to help these businesses during this construction time. This is a solution in the form of a federal grant from the U.S. Department of Energy. We applied for the grant and were awarded $187,350. With the grant receiving a 15-passenger shuttle in the amount of $95,000. I think there's a picture up. The remainder of the grant funds will be used to acquire a street sweeper to clean downtown sidewalks and parking deck. It too will be electric. This was a grant based on electric use. You know, the shuttle will be used for visitors during construction, other special events, not necessarily 3,000 people. And, you know, I don't know if you noticed, but for about a month, there's a dozen boats parked along the wall. As a matter of fact, on my way in tonight, I saw a family getting out of their boat, walking downtown to go get some dinner. You know, these are things that we can use this for. And as the mayor, I walk around town during the day at times, and I introduce myself to people. That's what we do. And I've met people from Italy, from Switzerland, from Germany, from Poland, and it's kind of fun because they want to get a picture with the mayor. So, you know, sometimes there's 6 or 7 or 8 people, they might want to, they hit the historical museum, they want to see the courthouse. This is a way for us to bring families around our town, and this is particularly going to be strong once we get the downtown back in shape by the 2026 timeframe. So it wouldn't make sense to me that we would not want to take this grant and utilize this as best we can. The fuel cost is next to nothing. I mean, it's a plug-in electric vehicle. I've got 20,000 on mine, and I'm saving the planet for all of you. I've no thanks intended there, but all we do is rotate tires. I haven't put tires or brakes on it, so they're not really that expensive to use. So with that, I would just want to address my fellow members of the council and ask that we approve this idea for our downtown use. Thank you.
Mayor. You know, I've supported the Rialto, the businesses downtown, this project, the Greenscape project that we have going on. And I just don't know, it's gonna be a couple years before that's done. I just don't know, like, now, why is it the time now to get this? We're probably gonna have overages for this Greenscape project, which, I mean, more than likely it will happen. And I'm in agreement with you. And, you know, the downtown's not real big. I just don't know if we have the need for it now. Maybe we can do it a year or two from now. And then, I'm not being critical with anybody. I just wish that, like, when these things come up, we can be notified about, hey, this is what we're trying to do. These are the things that, you know, this project we want to do, or this, we have a grant for this. And, you know, we were given this information here 33 minutes ago, and I was really hoping we would table this thing to get a little more info, but I don't know. I just don't think now is the time for that, and I don't know how big of an impact it's going to be. And I want to support it, but I just don't think now is the time for it. I don't know. That's just me, Mr. Mayor.
Any other comments?
Mayor, but
Sure.
I think with regards to the question of how much of an impact this tram would have in reducing kind of these traffic congestions during high density events, we're not going to put 3,000 people on the same tram and have them wait until the next 15 go and then the tram comes back. It's an additional option to have rather than expecting, say, 300 vehicles leaving the parking deck or the parking garage at the same time, and assuming that each one of those passenger vehicles has at most 5 people in it, that's still a limited capacity of how many people can be moving through these streets at one time. So transporting 15 people in one vehicle is still faster than having multiple vehicles come and try to squeeze out of the same parking deck at the same time, because you could take 15, 30, 45, 60, 75 people as opposed to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And so we know that this isn't going to magically solve the problem of traffic congestion or high volume traffic during these special events, but it's an additional option that relieves some of that burden. And I think there's no downside to this that I could possibly see. I think also we need to clarify that this, as it stands, the focus would be on special events. So this wouldn't be a standard bus route that would be circulating through downtown during all hours. So there is no additional cost of hiring a full-time drivers. We're not bringing on additional staff to drive this vehicle. We would be utilizing this vehicle as necessary. And so really the cost that we're looking at, once we take into account the grant, this is a minimal cost to the city of Joliet that would just provide the option. Again, it's not meant to transport 3,000 people in a single day, but it is there. And if it relieves the congestion by eliminating 100 vehicles from rush hour traffic, then I think that's absolutely a win.
Thank you.
One thing to say.
we're gonna really be helping out people that have mobility issues. If you don't have a family member with mobility issues and you get around fine, good for you. But this could make the difference for people like my mother that walks with a cane from a foot surgery. This is gonna make the difference for they're gonna participate or they're not gonna be able to participate. And everybody in the city of Joliet should have a chance to participate in these fun events and the things that we do in the downtown region, irregardless of mobility issues. So this could be a game changer for a lot of our residents that do have mobility issues. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor. Yeah, one last thing. I respect everybody's comments. 15 people, I believe it's gonna have to be a CDL carrier to drive this thing. So, you know, who's gonna drive it? And, I mean, are we just gonna hire somebody or?
Greg, can you clear that up for us? I don't
Yeah.
believe it needs CDL, does it?
No, this does not need a CDL. It's a small enough vehicle that a CDL is not required.
15 passengers.
Got all the comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
It is recommended said ordinance be adopted. It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
No.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Only if I can drive it. Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
No.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carries. Council Memo Number 467-24. Ordinance establishing the compensation of the mayor and city council and amending Section 2-327 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Joliet, Illinois. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Council,
Any comments or questions?
So, as mentioned by Jan, and piggybacking on something she mentioned, that the committee has recommended moving this to the full council. Obviously, 23 years is a long time. No one would take this part-time job if they were looking at the income only. All of us spend a large amount of time doing this because we want to do what is right for the rest of the citizens. I feel this $4,000 increase for some of the individuals who we hope to attract, and we already have attracted, to become council people would help offset their hard expenses, gas, parking, the like, that they are going to have. This money is not going to bring anybody out to say, I want to run for the Joliet City Council because it's going to be $23,000. It just doesn't work. No one out there would take a part-time job if they just were looking at the money. I think attracting individuals that we can help offset their immediate costs would help. It's not going to be anywhere near what that number, in a sense, should be. As Kevin Singh mentioned, this is not keeping up with inflation at all. But in that respect, this proposal before us, I support 100%.
Any other comments? My only comment, as I said last night, this was not my idea. And, you know, we all vote how we vote, but sometimes the mayor gets blamed for everything. And I know there's some negatives on this, so we'll all vote how we vote. Thank you.
it's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
No.
Mayor Darcy?
No.
Motion carried. Under resolutions, Council Memo Number 469-24, resolution authorizing a design agreement between the Department of the Army and the City of Joliet for the design for the Joliet Levee Flood Risk Management Project. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Comments or
Comment?
questions?
Yes.
Sorry.
So I've said this before, I feel this is nothing but a major money grab, from FEMA. Everyone that's been here for any amount of time understands that the river has an opportunity to open and close with the locks in Lockport and south of Joliet. I feel the federal government is just looking to make up for losses that they've had on the coast in Florida, just as of the last few days, Carolinas, by trying to get more money from the Midwest where that river absolutely cannot flood. Their weak excuse is the water's gonna back up the I&M Canal, and that's where it's gonna breach. And I agree that could happen, but if you open the locks, like the locks were set to be handled, there's no way we can flood. At the same note, I more than understand the speakers that were here. I am in the insurance business. I understand where the small business owner and the homeowner is being adversely affected, and I think we, the city, need to do this, but it is wrong. But we have no choice. I'm done.
I'd like to make a comment on it too. This was really a big thing on the agenda when I was running for mayor. And I want to give a lot of credit to Greg Ruddy and his team. They've worked hard to put this thing together. We met with our federal legislators, and many of them have agreed to help push this thing forward. And I think we're actually ahead of what I thought it was going to be, because obviously the government runs fairly slow. But I just want to say thanks to Greg and his team. I can't talk much about the real estate, but we have a lot of things worked out. So, and we do feel bad for businesses that have to pay this flood insurance, and we all know, just like Pat said, it was a money grab. So, but thanks, Greg. Any other comments? Okay.
Okay. It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Yeah, I agree with the mayor and Councilman Mudger, the complete money grab, but this has been going on a long time, and we really have no choice, but I vote aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 470-24, resolution to approve subrecipient agreements for program year 2024 Community Development Block Grant CDBG funding. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I have a question, Mayor. Please. We discussed this several years ago, so I'd like to revisit it. Have we done anything with this program to do outreach? It's the same organizations every year. I'd like to see it spread around. There's quite a few nonprofits out there that do some great work where it could rotate amongst them. How are we handling that? How are we screening that? Still the same as we've always screened it?
We have Jackie Lozada here from planning that can answer that. Jackie?
Hi, good evening. In terms of the question you asked about the subrecipients and the agencies and the funding, going towards the same agencies on a regular cycle, we have had conversations with both the Diversity and Community Relations Committee, as well as our HUD representatives, to build a more equitable review process for the upcoming years. We're also working with our HUD reps to build a new 5-year cycle, which is going to include a new citizen participation plan and a new community engagement plan as well. We do hope to make the application process as equitable as possible and as well-rounded as possible moving forward.
So this plan that you're putting together, when can we expect to see it as a council?
As soon as next year. We are hoping for both committee and council input on moving forward with something that is very well-rounded.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Mayor, could you, while you're still here, could you speak to the application workshops that were held prior to the review of all the applications that have been submitted?
Absolutely. So before the application process opened, there were workshops held with all of the local nonprofit agencies to go over what CDBG funding is and isn't, what may be considered eligible for funding and what is not. And we hope to continue that process. I think it really helped the local agencies know exactly what this funding source can be used for and to build towards a successful application in the future. So we're hoping to not only continue with the nonprofit boot camps, but also a review period after the application cycle for those agencies that may not have been approved, to let them know what they can do towards a more effective application for future funding.
Mayor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on the committee. There were a lot of workshops, and there were a lot of people that came to participate. And I, just as you alluded to, there were a lot of people that put in, and one, I remember Susanna Barr, we were on it. I think somebody put in for like a fundraiser and stuff, so that does not apply to the, or qualify for the CDBG funding.
Correct.
So, I think we spoke about, we want to reach out to these organizations to help them with the process, so they understand what they're applying for and what we can use the money for their organization. So,
Right.
I
One
think
thing
we're-
that we did see with the applications was that some services provided by those organizations throughout the year were eligible, but the specific event they were applying for, in some cases fundraisers or other special events, were not. So we are trying to work with those organizations to let them know that the other services that they do provide to the community may be a better source for the application going forward.
yeah, thank you.
Mayor, hold on. Can we get also more information? I know you talked about the 5-year cycle. We're just ending. I know we're made aware that we just ended a 5-year cycle and we're going to be starting a new one. Of examples of ways that we can change or better ways to use the CDBG funding, or kind of like you said, be a part of that process to know what, how the council and I will move forward and what that next 5-year cycle looks like for the CDBG funding.
So today actually marks the beginning of the 2024 application cycle. This is the 5th and final year of the 5-year consolidated plan. So we're building the next 5 years going forward from here. That will include building like a citizen participation plan and upgrading or updating the one that is currently in use. That does also include working with our nonprofit agencies and our local funding organizations to kind of work towards, so everybody knows exactly what the caps are on certain categories of CDBG. A lot of people aren't aware that this funding comes with a lot of HUD and federal regulations of specific cap amounts for public service, specific cap amounts on admin as well. So we hope to just be as communicative as possible and educate, any prospective recipient.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 471-24, resolution to adopt the annual action plan for Community Development Block Grant Program Year 2024. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 472-24. Resolution appropriating motor fuel tax funds for the construction of the Theodore Street, Droughton Road, and Westmere Parkway roadway widening improvements project. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 473-24. Resolution appropriating motor fuel tax funds for the Phase 3 engineering services for the Theodore Street, Droughton Road, Westmere Parkway roadway widening improvements project. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo Number 474-24. Resolution approving an agreement with the Illinois Department of Transportation for construction and construction Phase 3 engineering services for the Theodore Street, Droughton Road, Westmere Parkway roadway widening improvements project. It is recommended said resolution be adopted.
I'll do the hat trick. So moved.
Second.
Any comments, questions? Thank you.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to begin by giving an update on downtown construction. I'll try to report on construction at least once a month to keep the public informed of our advancements. Construction is progressing and we are on schedule. On the screen, you will see pictures of the project as of late last week. New water mains have been installed to Clinton, and the City Square water mains were pressurized and tested on Friday. Water service connections to the new mains are completed on Van Buren and on Chicago Street south of Van Buren. ComEd has completed their ductwork at the Chicago-Clinton Street intersection. Other work completed included new water service connections and disconnecting old water mains from the city's active system. Storm sewer installations are beginning and preparations for pavement patching is underway. Daytime lane closures can be expected to continue at Clinton and Scott Streets. I want to thank the Public Works and Public Utilities Departments and our engineering staff for their continued work on this project. The mayor and I met with downtown businesses owners last week to discuss the project. We'll continue to meet with business owners as needed to keep them informed and address any of their concerns. We are currently on schedule for the Olympic Bridge to be open for public traffic beginning this Friday, October 4th. This bridge will serve to provide access to the Rock Run Crossings development. IDOT will hold a hearing on the I-55 at Illinois 59 access project. This hearing is concerning the improvement of US 52 from River Road to Hobolt Road. The hearing is on Thursday, October 10th from 4 to 7 p.m. at Joliet Junior College, Building U Auditorium at 1215 Hobolt Road in Joliet. Information is on our website. Residents in Joliet and Will County can now apply for FEMA's Individual Assistant Program following the severe weather we had from July 13th to July 16th. Applications are available at www.disasterassistance.gov by calling the FEMA helpline at 800-621-3362 or by using the FEMA app. This information is also available on our website. It was brought to my attention that a local business was recently approached pretending to represent our Fire Safety Foundation. I'd like to introduce Fire Chief Carey to discuss this matter.
Yes, thank you. Last week we got a call from a local business who received a phone call from someone stating they were the Joliet Fire Department Safety Foundation solicited donations. We turned it over to JPD after that business owner felt that wasn't the right thing. They called them, then they showed up to the business and wanted a check. JPD investigated, found out it was a fundraising corporation that solicits donation on phony police and fire departments. So we just wanted to make the public aware that we do have a foundation, but we'll never call you. We don't solicit funds that way. So we wanted to get that message out that somebody, and I think it happens everywhere, where somebody calls, represents the fire police department, but we're not gonna call you and then show up to your business in a personal car and collect a check. So if you have any of that, call us and we'll turn it over to police. Or if you do receive anything and you're not sure if it is the fire or police department, just give us a call and we can confirm it. Anything that we send out, it comes back to the fire station at 101 East Clinton. So if you're ever asked to send it anywhere else, it's probably a scam. So we just wanted to make everybody aware of that.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Chief. The City of Joliet will have the Halloween map again this year. So if you would like for your house to be included on the map, please visit our website and submit the online form. The city will rededicate the gardens and arbors at the gazebo along 129th Infantry Drive. The improvements are from a $25,000 grant from Canadian National's Eco Connections from the Ground Up program, and is using the grant to fund the planting of native flowers and grasses along the pond's walking path. The event is Tuesday, October 8th at 10 a.m., so come out and join us if you can. On September 18th, I attended the Police Department promotions. Congratulations to Officer Lieberman, to now Sergeant Lieberman, and Sergeant Payne, to now Lieutenant Payne. I also attended the Athena Chamber Luncheon. Congratulations to Kelly Roeder Tonelli, who was this year's recipient. That concludes my report.
Okay. Next is public comments. We have Mike McCushka.
Hi, Mike McCushka, 306 West Ridge Road. A lot of times we get a lot of negative press about things that might be going on in Joliet. I just want to say I want to give my heartfelt thanks for the support that the community has given to Reclaim 13. Reclaim 13 is the only safe house for sexually trafficked girls in Illinois. We work with girls 9 to 17 now. Recently we had a girl from Joliet. We currently have a girl who is 14. Her mom was trafficking her. She has 2 children. We've worked with over 300 girls so far. We also have a therapy center in Lombard where we work with kids who have been sexually abused. It's a sliding scale. We turn no one away. We also have a transition house where we have for women who have been sexually trafficked. We are looking to develop a forever community. It's a big project. It's a $10 million project, so if you know someone that's got a hole burning in their pocket with $10 million, we could use it. But what we found is a lot of the girls who turn 18, major age, have no place to go. They have no family to speak of, certainly no family they want to go back to, and no friends or situations where they want to return. So what we're looking to do is develop a facility for them so that they can continue with their education, their therapy, and hopefully move on to a better life. We have so many success stories. I know that a few of you will be at our gala coming up on Saturday. I think all the tickets are sold out, but I know Councilman Cardenas is going to be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
The deputy city manager is going to be there, and Mayor, you're going to be there too, I hope? Right. I'd like to recognize a few people who have given significant contributions to us financially to support us. Mike Graham and Thomas Williamson from Graham C Stores, big contributors. Joliet Petroleum, who's not here tonight. Local philanthropist Jim Sefcik. Jim kind of gets involved with everything. But we work to try to help these girls. We've got support of 60 Christian churches in the area, the Joliet Diocese Diaconate. Victory City Church has been a huge support for our girls. We really appreciate it. And I just want to thank the community for all that they do for us. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. It's a great organization. Thanks for all you all do.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'm Nick Policandriotis, lifelong businessman, born here, everything, JCM uniforms, my whole life here in this place. I love what you've done, and what I want to comment about is basically the levy. I'm not going to get into it. I think what you're doing is great. I think that we're progressing at what we're allowed to, considering who we're dealing with in FEMA and stuff. I had a conversation with the township here about the tax implications, because obviously the taxes go up every year and everybody looks at what they're doing. And I was talking to him, and I was at a total amazement that I was told that the assessor for our downtown had no idea that there was floodplain implications. So he wouldn't take any consideration that, you know, we're all in this floodplain, which means we can't ask for more money if we do. I mean, this is affecting the values of what we're dealing with every day in our business. I don't know if there's something the city can do, but there should have been some communication that possibly he could have helped us short term until we can resolve this. I don't know what the expectations are, Mayor. Do you know how long they're talking about this might take to do the levy?
Craig, can you help us with that?
Sure. We have been working on this project for quite some time. We worked with the Army Corps to complete a feasibility study, which was completed late last year, and I believe it was approved early this year by the council. The current anticipated construction timeline is 2027 for construction, with completion in 2028. So it's still a few years out. We are working diligently towards that, but unfortunately, working with the federal government can be a lengthy and challenging process.
4 years, the implications alone that I'm, as a small business, is doing, and it may not be a lot, but it's somewhere around $10,000 a year for floodplain insurance. I don't know if the city has the ability to talk to the county, the assessors. I mean, there should have, he has no knowledge. I'm shocked. How can he not have knowledge? But I'm not here to, I'm just trying to educate us that, wow, we're being affected. And I realize this 1.2 that you guys are talking about, that how much are we on the hook for when it's going to be constructed? Is that going to be?
I believe the current estimate was about 8 million, but it was a 60-40 split. And I'm not 100% sure on that construction cost estimate, because I think that might have been the initial one, which could have changed since then with some more recent information, but the grant program is 60-40.
Interesting. Just trying to let you know that the building across the street that taxes all of us had no clue that parts of downtown are in floodplain. I think that should be addressed, and maybe short term, because now we're talking 27, 28, maybe there can be some help. Maybe we can twist an arm or something and say, hey, we shouldn't be footing all this bill. It's not a small amount that they're asking. FEMA controls not only, and I was wondering, have they done their job right? Because I had personally on my house on Droughton once, before I sold it, had to go get Rudiger and Tonelli to come in, $3,500 for them to tell that, hey, my house is not in floodplain, but yes, adjacent to the channel that goes through, it is. FEMA's not, they're not God. They're not the ones who, but they are doing it, and they're costing us all this money. Have they done their job right? And who's attached? Who's talked to them about that? But on the smaller thing, I think is a temporary gap. I don't know who you talk to here, or how we could address that issue. Maybe talking to the assessor and say, here's the map. these people could use a hand to help defray this cost temporarily. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
We'll do what we can. Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Is there anyone else here that would like to address the council this evening?
Hello, Mayor, Council. My name is Bob Cobb. Just want to make a couple of comments. First one is on these compensation for the board to get. I wholly support it. I think it's inadequate, should be more. I'm all for a higher raise. My second comment is, I have a Ring doorbell camera, and I got, with that, I get these neighborhood postings, and a lot of them are about videos capturing hoodlums going up to cars and opening car doors and stealing stuff out of it. Number one, why would anybody leave their car unlocked? Number two is, a lot of these videos show basically the same individuals repeating somewhere else, but same outfit, same hat, same backpack. I'm amazed that they're not getting caught. Now, my question, I have a question, if you can answer it, is do these individuals have to be caught in the act before they can get caught, before they can get arrested, or can it just be proof of video with the hat, the backpack, and the outfit they're wearing? Is that sufficient enough to have these individuals arrested? I'm amazed at the amount of videos showing these individuals, and a lot of them say breaking in. Well, they're not breaking in. The cars are unlocked. So it just amazes me that these people don't lock their doors. Maybe you can put a headline in the Herald News: "Lock your damn doors." Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We can get with the chief after, and he can give us an answer on that.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening? Okay, seeing none. Next, we have mayor and council comments.
Your turn, Jerry.
This time? I just will say one thing. I was at the Fire Station 1 yesterday. I feel like it was long ago, but it was just yesterday morning. And they just swore in 4 new firemen. So we're getting up there. We're trying to get those police officers up there too, I know. And the only other thing I want to say is early voting has begun, so get out there and vote, people.
So, good evening, everybody. On Saturday, September 21st, 9 of my friends from back in the day, we got together for the End to Alzheimer's Walk. We had a friend that passed away in June of this year, and between the 10 of us, we donated $800, so we're very proud of that. Overall, the walk raised $93,902 with more money still coming in. So that was a fabulous day downtown Joliet on the 21st. I'm wearing almost pink tonight. It's not quite pink, but October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Very important. Ladies, get your mammograms. However, it was stated this morning on the news, men, check yourselves also. They're expecting, or they have had already, within the past couple of years, 3,000 men come down with breast cancer. Sounds a little different, but guys, you can get it too. So please, everybody, get out there and get checked. It's so important, and it can be cured if caught early. And I was sorry to miss the Grapefruit Fest. I know it was a fabulous event. I always go, but we were in Wisconsin and didn't make it back in time for the week, for that night. So anyway, I want to keep everybody safe, be well, and enjoy October. Thank you.
Nothing.
Okay.
Since our last meeting, I attended many local events and meetings. These events included Vintage Fest in downtown Jefferson Street. The festival started over 4 years ago and had over 40 vendors participating. On Friday, September 27th, I went to the Harvey Brooks Foundation Masquerade Sneaker Ball. That was such a fun event, and we raised some much needed funds for the foundation. I attended Celtic Fest, which was hosted by the Irish American Society of Will County, September 21st at St. Joe's Park. That same day, I attended the Joliet Pride Fest at Bicentennial Park. There was music, entertainment, food trucks. There was also animals. It was so much fun. I visited the Chicago Street Market nighttime event. That was amazing. As for meetings, I spoke at the new Raidwood Neighborhood Council meeting held last Thursday, and I spoke about a really fun way to who to contact, how to contact, when to contact, and we played a really fun game, and all of the winners got Dan's Candy. I visited Dan's Candy before that meeting, so everyone was excited, and they were educated on who to call, when, what, where, and why. Finally, I want to wish a happy 96th birthday to a Korean War veteran, Weems McCullum, in my district. I'm wishing him a happy birthday, 96 years young, and so much more. And my mother's birthday is next week, and I love you so much, Mom. You watch all the time. She wanted the mayor to know. She is watching every single week, and you're doing a fantastic job, Mr. Mayor. And with that, that concludes my report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to your mom.
Yeah, well, I'll let her know. She's watching now.
Hi, Mom.
Just a couple observations from tonight's meeting. I'll get back to the one I want to thank the Daughters of the Revolution, and something that was put in the mayor's proclamation I want to mention. I think it's something we all need to refocus on. But before I say that, several times up here, different people have said that the increase in pay, as minimal as somebody might consider it for this council, is because the council's pay hasn't kept up with inflation. I know that about 60 to 70% of American families are struggling and can't keep up with inflation. It's a little bit more important to me, and that's why I oppose that increase. It's a matter of leading by example. A lot of people hurting out there. Now with this strike looming on the longshoremen, it's going to get worse for these families, really worse. Anybody remember 2007 and 8? Watch out. As far as the Mayor, you may have caught it too in your proclamation as it was written. One of the basic tenets of our Constitution, which is so true, is limited government. And say that again. Let's say it together. Limited government. Hey, does anybody see that at any level anymore? Anywhere? I mean, limited government doesn't give a state debt of 68 to 80 billion. That's not limited government. It doesn't give a federal debt of 35 trillion almost. You understand that if I gave you $35 trillion and you spent $1 billion a day, it would take you 96 years to spend that 35 trillion at $1 billion a day. That's not limited government. You know, that's why I opposed the shuttle bus. There's no such thing as free money. I think Greg can tell you that we have an ongoing joke in our public service committee when somebody says, oh, we have free money, it's a grant. And I say, exactly what tree did that money come off of? Or did it come out of the taxpayer's pocket? It doesn't matter how small or how big it is. When's the last time you heard anybody in office or running for office on any level of government talk about cutting expenditures? Not cutting taxes, we all love that. But sometimes when you cut taxes in the wrong way, you increase that 35 trillion, or that 68 to 80 billion in the state, or whatever debt that your community has. Why have we stopped talking about balanced budgets and cutting spending on all levels of government? Just, again, I want to thank the Daughters of the Revolution for keeping the Constitution, if you will. It's alive on its own. It's a living document, but in front of especially school kids to learn it. But limited government is something that we have not done in 30 years, at least. That's my comments. Thank you.
A few things here. So, since we've met last, I've had the fortune to attend a handful of events. One of those being a peace walk around Joliet Central together with the Nonviolent Cities Project. So they were very appreciative, very grateful to finally have that resolution, resolution here read at the city council. There was a number of speakers, including myself, as well as Mr. Ernest Krim, who is always a fantastic speaker. Always learn so much from seeing him. Like Councilwoman Ibarra, I was also at Pride Fest, just for a moment, but from what I could tell, it was well attended. Everyone was safe and left the event happy, so always good to see that event happening. And also at Bicentennial Park, I attended an open mic, poetry open mic hosted by our Joliet Poet Laureate, Mr. Usmar Torres. So it was fantastic to see some of our talented, young students from Joliet Junior College, from other kind of schools in the area, and to see some talent actually even from out of state coming to Joliet just to attend this event. So to see that sort of coalescence of really, really talented speakers and authors, poets, musicians, to have them all together in one space is exactly the kind of thing that I would like to continue to support. With regards to kind of the compensation package for council members here, and I think this idea of limited government, of reasonable spending, I think it's time that we start to make some serious considerations about what the scope of work is for council members. So for everyone watching the video at home, and you can see the phone numbers appearing beneath us as we speak on the screen, those are not literal, physical, concrete phones here at City Hall. We don't actually have an office. We don't actually have a desk with a physical phone sitting on it. All of those calls get forwarded to our own phones. I often go to events, meeting with other elected officials from across the state of Illinois, and at the end of the conversations, they'll say, "Great talking to you, we'll be in touch, I'll get a hold of your chief of staff." There is no staff. There is no chief of staff. This is the team right here. This is it. Everything that your council members do, whether it be your district council members, your at-large council members, they're doing that themselves, with the assistance, of course, of our wonderful and amazing staff here. But we don't have anyone that is taking our phone calls for us, filtering through our emails. That's something that we do entirely on ourselves. And for a city of this scale and with this projected growth, I think we need to start asking ourselves, do we want to continue to have the city council be a part-time job? Or is it perhaps time to consider that maybe this should be a dedicated position? That's not for me to decide. I think that's up to our public to decide. I'm not even sure what the process would be to make those sort of changes. But I think it's important that everyone knows, that all of our constituents know, we get paid to do a part-time job. We don't have a physical office here at City Hall. We don't even have phones that your phone calls go to. So if we're going to continue to keep salaries for council members, in this range, I think it's limiting the pool of applicants, of people who might be interested in public service, people who would be interested in bringing fresh perspectives, fresh ideas, different experiences to City Hall. But again, that's not for me to decide. That's entirely up to the public, and to decide that through our electoral process. With that, I want to close with one more item, and that is that on Thursday, October 3rd, that's in 2 days from now, we will be having a Diversity and Community Relations Committee here in the council chambers at 5:30. Again, last time we met, I spoke to some of the feedback that I had been getting, and I'm sure other council members had gotten themselves with the absence of a Mexican Independence Day parade this year. So the purpose of this committee meeting will be to go over special permit applications. Again, the city of Joliet is not the entity that organizes the parade. We are not event planners. We approve an application that we receive. And so the purpose of this committee meeting will be to have members of the public be able to see what the special event permit process is, to ask their questions, to get a better understanding of what counts as a special event, what requires a permit, what doesn't require a permit. This is your opportunity to come in and have your questions answered. That's the only item on our agenda is a review of the special event permit process. If there's any considerations as to saying maybe this process needs to be simplified, maybe this process needs to be streamlined, that will come after this first meeting. I want to be very clear that this is just a starting point. It's an opportunity to invite all of our stakeholders, anybody who's interested in reviving the parade and bringing it back next year. We invite you to be a part of this committee meeting. And for anyone who might be saying, I want to hold a special event of my own, I want to have any type of parade. This is not specific to the Mexican Independence Day Parade. This is for any and all special events in the city of Joliet. Come have your questions answered, be a part of the process, and it's that type of involvement that makes a city thrive, that allows for arts and culture to flourish, to have these special events, and we can't do that without your input. So again, we invite you, Diversity and Community Relations Committee meeting, Thursday, October 3rd, 5:30 here at City Hall.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to welcome the IPCSA, that's the Illinois Probation and Court Services Association. It's a organization union. They're part of the Fraternal Order of Police. They are here in town for 3 days for a conference. Well over 300 members are here staying at the Holiday Inn. They're going to have their luncheon, and they're actually going to do the prison tour. They're going to shuttle people back and forth for the prison. They're very, very excited about it. It's very exciting to hear that people are coming here to Joliet to utilize the prison, and it's well over 300 members. And this is their 55th year, and the first time that they've been here, to my knowledge, here in Joliet. So I want to welcome all of those members from the IPCSA, and I hope they have a great time. Secondly, probably more important, we're all aware of the devastation that has happened in the southeast with Hurricane Helene. Absolutely devastating. If you can get on any news channel, social media, it's just heartbreaking to hear the stories. So, I'm listening to this, and I immediately call Rocky Kaler over at Cadence. Rocky Kaler, and in conjunction with Krista Desiderio, I believe in 2017, there was a hurricane that hit Houston, and they started a relief efforts to help those people there. So I immediately called Rocky Kaler, just asking him, what do you think? What can we do? Joliet, I know so many people in this town, everybody up here, we are giving people. We love to take care of people. And what does Rocky say? I'm all in. So he is the chair or the president of Cadence Cares Foundation Incorporated. In conjunction, he said, I would love to help you guys with Isaac, with Legacy Express, and the Illinois Truckers Association. So when I gather this information that Rocky is ready to do this thing, right, I contacted Krista Desiderio because she has the expertise. And Rocky explained to me, hey, I can get some semi-trailers. We can load them up with goods. And we could take it to churches and Rotary clubs in Tennessee and the Carolinas and wherever we need to do. And I immediately called the mayor, and he's on board. I think this is something that we have to do and we should do, and we should be proud to help. And I know this is the early stages, and with the help of Rosemarie and getting it out to the public, I believe we can fill up a few trailers full of water, Gatorade, diapers, wipes, non-perishable items, and some elderly products. No clothing, nothing like that at this time. But and then Rocky's like, well, you think the city could maybe pick up the fuel cost on the way down, and we'll handle it on the way back. And I spoke to the guys here at Graham C Store and Mike McCushka, and Graham C. Store said, I'll throw in $1,000 for fuel. So I think if we can get together and really embrace this, I think it'd be great for Joliet to, in conjunction with Cadence Cares, Legacy Express, and Illinois Truckers Association, anybody else that wants to jump on board, I think we could send a few truckloads of goods and things that are deeply and desperately needed in the southeast. So, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks. Yeah, I just want to make sure just to keep encouraging everybody to make sure they visit our downtown businesses, obviously, when we talk about the construction and everything that's going on. With, you know, like I said, there's light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully, with everything that's happening. This Sunday, there's going to be this spooky 5K. It's going to be held in downtown right at 302 North Chicago Street. So again, it's another fun event to come out and run through the downtown up to the, what is the Ironworks Trail. And then again, be able to visit some of the restaurants in downtown to keep supporting them, because right now they need a lot of support. And just want to say also good luck to everyone who's running Food Trends Around running the Chicago Marathon next Sunday as well, the 13th of October. So, but yeah, just continue supporting our downtown businesses and everything we can do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, just real quick, on the heels of Councilman Guerrero's comments, I don't really watch the screen, whether I'm talking or frankly you guys are talking. I look at you. But, so I hope it's still accurate, because I started doing it 10 or 12 years ago. Actually, my number is my personal cell phone number. I want to let people know that's my personal cell phone number that comes up under my name. You're going to come directly to me. I understand what the councilman is saying, the 724 numbers. He is right. If you call one of the 724 numbers for the council members, not including the mayor, he's got an office, there's not a phone on this planet that rings when you call that number. It is automatically turned into a WAV file and then emailed to us. That's how we get that. That's why I put my personal cell phone number. But I wanted to be clear so people wouldn't be, you know, questioning whether they should call me. You're calling me direct on my cell phone. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. You know, first I want to say that I really do appreciate all the work that this council gives to this community. There's a lot of work that nobody sees behind the scenes. There's committee, there's events everybody goes to articulate all the agendas right down to the fine tooth of it. They do a great job. They work hard. And I did do the rule of 72s on the 2% increase every year. This will double their pay by 2061, so if anybody's here by then, you'll be fine, you'll double up. But anyway, I just want to say I respect this group of people, and I'm proud to be up here with them, and they all vote with their heart, respectfully work with each other, and we do get a lot done, and I'm just really happy to be here. I went a few places. Beth and I went to the Athena Award. This year was Kelly Roder Tonelli. There's been over 30 women that have won this award, and I gotta tell you, I'm humbled when I see what these ladies do for our community, for other women, and what they give back. And I figure I better start working a little harder to catch up to some of them. I also did too attend the promotion of Officer Lieberman to Sergeant Lieberman, and to Eric Payne to Lieutenant Payne. And a couple really worthy police officers that we should be proud of them, as well as all of our policemen and policewomen. I also was able to speak on last Saturday at the National Hookup of Black Women. They are a national mission creating an atmosphere enabling women to effect meaningful change. The group has been in Joliet since 1991, and they have worked to improve the quality of life and facilitate family preservation. And as I went through the school that they've taken over on 1705 Richards, I was completely impressed. Matter of fact, I asked one of them if they wanted my job to run a couple car dealerships, and obviously they turned me down. But what a wonderful job these ladies do, and all the heartfelt work they do. They're all educators and just retired nurses and such, but what a great group of women, and we just have to continue to support organizations like that. So, and thank you all for coming out tonight, and we appreciate all the support from the community. And thank you to your mom for the kind words. Thank you. That's my report.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
See how quick they are.
Opposed?
Let me show you
Meeting
this.
adjourned.
Closed session tonight.
Text me.